Goddess. I'm honored. Lizzy Jeff, what's up, girl?
How you doing? Thank you. That was such a sweet and loving intro.
Of
Thank
course, for
you.
someone as sweet and loving as you. You know, you came in here definitely with the
Ah,
energy and just the good vibrations. How
thank
do
you.
you all like? I feel like every time I always encounter you, you've always been the same. But how do you stay so leveled out? Give me,
How do I stay leveled
yeah, give me
out?
some advice.
Wow, that's deep. Because honestly, I always say like I'm multidimensional. Like yeah, I'm sweet, but I'm sour too. Like balance, duality.
Yeah,
And so one thing that helps me is just embracing all the different dimensions of myself and not judging myself if I'm in my dark feminine bag some days or like more in my masculine bag some
yeah,
days. It's just like the flow of things. So one, just embracing it. Moment by moment, because especially as women, we're like ever evolving and ever changing.
yeah.
So it's just about being graceful with myself, breathing through it.
Hmm.
That's why in a lot of my music, dang near every song, you hear me when I'm just like, because it's really a reminder to just breathe. You
Right.
feel me? It's so easy to get caught up in all the things, but I feel like our breath and just being able to stay in that move in spirit, it'll help you stay balanced, as you navigating it. So, I
Love
mean, I don't
that.
have all the answers, but
Y'all hear that? Just breathe. You know, sometimes you got to take those deep breaths. And I honestly believe in that as well. When would you say you started becoming so spiritually grounded within self?
mm, okay, Miss Questions. When would I say I became so spiritually grounded? Mm, that's a deep one. Honestly, I would probably say in the womb, just like the journey that my mother experienced, just her spiritual journey, um, you know, just bringing me into this realm. But then also, I was raised by my grandmother,
Okay.
and my great grandmother was very present in my life, and my auntie, who are all very deeply spiritually rooted women. And they each had their own various religious beliefs,
Yeah.
but they were all so devoted to God, to divinity, um, just the rituals and the practices. And so that's something that I just saw growing up, and it made me want to kind of be on my own journey of
Mm-hmm.
self-discovery, my own journey of finding God,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would say that I've always been on that journey until I really started to understand the power of your thoughts, your mind. My
Yeah.
granny used to always say, like, there's power in your tongue, And I understood what she was saying, but I didn't really fully understand it until, excuse me, later in life when I started really practicing and being intentional about, just what I say, what I think, what I manifest for myself, the power of intention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, anyways, yeah.
And you know what? I feel like that practice is something that you also do within your music, which is why I'm a fan, because I feel
Mm,
like when I listen to some Lizzy Jeff and when I turn on some Lizzy Jeff, I'm going to uplift myself. It's always
mm,
going to be a positive message,
mm.
and it's also going to um, bring out my feminine, my sexy, my I don't know. Like I
I
feel
love
really
that.
in touch with my divine feminine when I do listen to your music, and something that I mean not recent, within a couple of years, you know, I've grew up in a religious household,
Mm-hmm,
and I was always taught to think of God and praising like more of a masculine energy
mm-hmm,
type of being, and like a father, like you're afraid. I don't know,
Right,
like
right,
you know,
right. I
like
got you.
a masculine divine figure, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I started tapping into like my goddess side and also
Mm,
acknowledging like the feminine that also
mm.
happens within that energy. So you've always been about the goddess. Tell me a little bit more about how you got into that. Say.
Oh, that's something. Thank you. I love that question, and thanks for sharing that about yourself too. It's just Okay, that's good. And then you said I've always been about the goddess. Now I'll tell you, even that has been a journey, because I grew up I was the only girl, you know, brothers, just like LA shit.
Yeah.
Even living back and forth between New Orleans and LA, was some New Orleans shit all the time. And I like playing sports, I wore the baggy clothes. I was the girl, I always had a snapback on. And I wore it backwards, I was always on my like tomboy shit.
Yeah.
Just being the only girl playing sports with the boys on a neutral ground or playing basketball, whatever. And that was cute. And I think because I also, I've spoken about this before, but just being a young girl, like I did get teased a lot for being slim, for being, for having small breasts or being